Hi friends, it's Heather. Welcome back to Brilliant Blue Reviews. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you the movies that I currently know about and know the release date for that are coming out in 2025 that I am most excited about seeing. I'm going to give these to you in the order of when they're going to be released, with just a little bit of information that I know about them, basically from seeing the previews or little press releases or something about them. I'm sure there's going to be more movies than this released in 2025. I'm sure that I will go to more movies than this in 2025, but these are the ones that I am most looking forward to and am looking forward to seeing that I know about right now. Okay, one that I know I don't have on here and I don't actually know the release date of it, I think it's January or February, is Paddington in Peru. Paddington in Peru is going to be, is it the third movie in the Paddington series? Yeah, if you've enjoyed the other two Paddington movies, you should watch for that. That's going to be coming out early here in 2025. January 17th, I am very much looking forward to seeing September 5 or September 5th. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. This is a drama, probably going to have some Oscar buzz, I would guess, that we were actually hoping to see on Christmas Day. We came back from a trip to Munich, Germany on Christmas Eve, and we were planning to see this movie on Christmas Day. This is a drama with a bunch of actors that I kind of vaguely recognize, but nobody that I could tell you the name of. That centers around the sports reporters, so the sportscasters that were at the Munich Olympics in 1972 to report on the Olympics. And they inadvertently get caught up kind of sharing and reporting on the Israeli hostage crisis that took place at that Olympics when the Israeli athletes were held hostage by terrorists. There was actually a memorial I saw in a little archway between Marienplatz to that Olympics and what happened there. It was kind of on the wall. We went to the Olympic Park in Munich and walked around a little bit. There's not much to see in the wintertime. There's some activities and things you can go and do there in the summer. There's also a sea life aquarium there now that I'm sure wasn't there when the Olympics were there. But what we had hoped to do, we were hoping to go up and eat in the restaurant, the rotating restaurant at the top of the tower, the observation tower. But the entire tower was closed until 2026, 2027? 2029. 2029, yeah. So we weren't going to be eating there. We ended up eating at a very lovely Pizza Hut across the street from the Olympic Park. But we just thought it would be so cool since we had been at the Olympics where this took place, just a few days later to get to go see this movie, but it didn't come out then. It came out in limited release, so some of you may have seen it already. If you did, let me know in the comments. Don't give me any spoilers, but let me know how you liked it, if you thought it was good. It came out in limited release, so probably New York, LA, places like that, on December 13th. It is not coming out in wide release until January 17th. Looks like a pretty intense, serious drama, but probably going to be very well acted and good. So I'm looking forward to that one. Okay, then nothing else in January. In February 14th, looking forward to Captain America: Brave New World. This is a movie with Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America. Original Captain America kind of turned things over to him. And Harrison Ford is starring as the President of the United States. Looks interesting. It's been a while since I've seen, I saw Madam Web and I saw the Marvels. But anything with like those main Marvel characters, it's been a while since I've seen anything. So I might need a little refresher on where everybody's at before I see that. But the previews look really good. My son is excited to see it. So I'm sure we'll be going to that right away when it comes out. Nothing else in February. March 14th, Black Bag. I really hope, I'm going to have to check the more detailed information when this gets released. It stars Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. And they're a married couple and they're both spies or assassins or something. I'm really looking forward to this. It looks really good. The only thing I'm a little worried about is I don't like really a lot of violence, and it didn't look like in the preview that it's going to be very violent, but I'm going to want to make sure. But it kind of has a little bit of Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibes going on, but more serious, less humor and fun and romp, but more serious, because it looks like he's given the assignment of having to take out his own wife is kind of the gist, is what I saw from the preview. But it looks really good. I hope I can go see it and that it comes out around here. This is the type of movie that sometimes we don't get where we live, which is really disappointing to me. Okay, also in March 21st, okay, my daughter over here does not want to see this, but I still do, is Disney's Snow White. It's the live action Snow White. I have actually had great success with my enjoyment of the live action reimaginings of the original animated features. She'll go see it, but she thinks it's weird, okay? That's fair, all right? We think that Mirror Mirror, which was not Disney, and there was also The Huntsman, which was also not Disney. These were all kind of versions of Snow White that came out in the past. But this is actually Disney doing a live reimagining of their original cartoon animated version of Snow White, okay, which is one of the oldest Disney movies. Is that the first full-length Disney movie?
Snow White, yes.
Yeah. Okay, it came out in the 30s. Okay, the 1930s, okay? I'm not a huge fan of Snow White in general. Not the story, not the princess, not the animated movie. I like the rides. I like Snow White's Scary Adventures at Disneyland, and I like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train very much at Walt Disney World in Florida at Magic Kingdom. But I don't really have any strong opinion about Snow White. I mean, we've met her, you know, different versions of Snow White at Disney parks over the years. And I don't know, the high squeaky voice and I don't know, she's just not my favorite, okay? And, you know, why are there dwarves in the woods? It's just, you know, but I still want to see this live action version because in the past, the live action ones that I've seen, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, Cinderella, what was another one? There was something else.
Maleficent.
Oh, Maleficent for Sleeping Beauty. So good. I loved Maleficent. I loved Cinderella. The costumes in that were out of this world. Cate Blanchett in that as the Wicked Stepmother was so good. Helena Bonham Carter as the fairy godmother. Mulan was really good. It didn't get released in theaters because it was during the pandemic. Beauty and the Beast, I really appreciated because it gave so much more backstory. It gave so much more information about the characters that you didn't find out in the animated version. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the plague. But here's the thing. This is how I feel about these remakes. Part of me is like, oh my gosh, don't touch it. Leave it alone. What the heck are you doing, Disney? But the grown-up part of me really appreciates it because I loved these movies as a child. And like even the ones that they're going to end up redoing, I'm sure, that came out when I was already an adult. I loved them when I was younger, let's say. And then it's kind of like, oh, you liked that? Here's a grown-up version for you. I don't think that kids like the live action ones as much as adults do. But I also think that Disney puts a lot of cool stuff into the live action ones that adults appreciate. Like more backstory, more information, more details, stuff like that. As well as some things you can do with live action that you can't do with animation. The same is true vice versa too, but I do appreciate them. The ones I don't like, the stupid ones with the CGI animals. We're not going to see Mufasa. Lion King live action, what?
We're not seeing Lilo and Stitch.
We're not seeing Lilo and
They're
Stitch.
gonna ruin that one.
That one I flat out refuse. No, I'm sorry. Lilo and Stitch is a classic. And, I mean, not that these other ones aren't classics, but that one should not be touched. And what I've seen of the thing that's going to be Lilo and Stitch, what even is it? Is it a puppet? Is it CGI? I don't even know. It looks weird. When they have to CGI stuff like that I don't like.
Like the dwarves.
Are they CGIing the dwarves?
Yes.
Why aren't they just using little people?
That was what I was telling you. They're CGIing the dwarves.
Okay, I do have a problem with that. They should have just hired little people actors. That's dumb. Like in The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, you're right. That looks weird. Okay, so anyway, we're good. I'm gonna see it. I'll do a review. I'll tell you what I think. Okay, but that comes out March 21st. April 11th, The Amateur. You've probably seen previews with this. Rami Malek, his wife is killed by bad guys of some kind. He works for the CIA. He's kind of a techie, it looks like, and he wants them to train him and make it possible for him to go get revenge on these bad guys, which I'm sorry, the CIA doesn't really do that, so that's kind of outlandish. But and then he can't do it. He's too soft. He's too much of an ordinary person. He's not an assassin, okay? But it looks like in the previews he ends up doing things that are more clever and more in his skill set to get revenge on these people that killed his wife.
As opposed to direct violence.
Right, as opposed to direct violence, exactly. It looks interesting. It's kind of a action-y spy thriller kind of movie. May 2nd, Thunderbolts, another Marvel movie. I'm sorry, I just love that they have a Pixies song in the preview. I don't know if the Pixies song is in the actual movie, but it makes the trailer really cool. This is the one place my daughter and I were saying, I mentioned before I'm not a huge fan of Florence Pugh, and I really didn't like her in We Live in Time. But
I don't like her in anything.
Yeah, I don't like her in much of anything. But
Yelena is the only role I like her
yeah, we like her in the role of Yelena in these Marvel movies. I think she does a really good job with it. She looks like she's pretty much a main character in this one. And it's kind of all of the, what would you call them? The outsiders, the scrappy, not really included in the main, they're not part of the Avengers.
It's like all the sidekicks.
Yeah, it's like all the sidekicks get together and get their movie. Yeah, it's Bucky and it looks good. So we're going to go see that one. Okay. And then also in May 23rd, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Will this really be the last Mission Impossible movie? I mean, Tom Cruise is getting pretty old. He's older than me. He's in his 60s. Does his own stunts. He's a crazy man. How long can he keep running? I think this might be the last one. I love the Mission Impossible movies. I love them, love them, love them. I love Ghost Protocol. I love Fallout. Those are probably my favorites. I didn't love Dead Reckoning very much. First of all, I was really annoyed that they killed off Ilsa. I found out later it's because the actress wanted to leave the franchise. I feel like they could have done that some other way. But
I like Julia.
Yeah.
She's going on a research.
Yeah, Julia, yeah. Can't she go do something else? But they killed her off, and I wasn't happy about that. And I just didn't love... I've liked it more in re-watchings, and I'm glad they changed the title, because originally it was going to be Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, because this one is a direct sequel off the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. But they changed the title to The Final Reckoning. They wanted to, I guess, get away from them being a Part 1 and Part 2. But I feel like you're definitely going to have seen Dead Reckoning for this one to make any sense, because the story's going to pick right up off of it. But very excited to see that one. Probably will go to the movies 3 times because summer and we're always so bored. May 30th, Karate Kid Legends. I'm going to have to introduce my kids to the Karate Kid movies now. From the 80s.
I've seen the Karate Kid movies. I love those movies.
The originals?
Yes.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I don't think...
With
Pat Morita?
Johnny Boy.
From The Outsiders. Yeah, Megan likes The Outsiders.
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, yeah. Now, there's a... Cobra Kai is the show on Netflix? Is Cobra Kai on Netflix?
Great question. I don't watch
Okay. It's a show about Danny and... the other guy as adults. They have like a studio now together and everything, and it's all good and stuff. I've never watched the show, but I loved Karate Kid, especially 1 and 2, and actually 2 is my favorite. Mr. Miyagi, yeah. No, the other guy, Johnny, the guy that he doesn't like in the first movie, the blonde guy.
Okay, yeah.
I think Mr. Miyagi is gone now. Passed away. Yeah. I didn't like the 3rd movie, and I didn't like that weird remake thing that they did with Jaden Smith. Was it Jaden Smith?
Who's James?
Will Smith's son.
Oh.
My little researcher finding all the answers for me over here while I talk.
That looks stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan, yeah. But I liked number 1 and I liked number 2 very much. And I will definitely have to have Ben watch those because I don't think Ben has seen them. So Ben's going to need to watch those before we see Karate Kid Legends on May 30th, which is Ralph Macchio. And they return to like Mr. Miyagi's house, it looks like, and stuff. I don't know what's going on there. And they got to help some kid that needs help. He's getting bullied. June 13th, Elio. Is it
supposed to come out this year?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it Pixar or is it Disney? I'm actually not excited about it.
No.
It shouldn't even be on this list. I'm gonna go see it.
Oh, it's Disney.
It's Disney. I'm gonna go see it.
But it's made for like 5-year-olds.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't need to go see it.
I have to see it. I have to evaluate it for the channel.
But you're not a 5-year-old.
I'll get something out of it. Maybe there'll be some cute stuff. I'm gonna make a review for you, don't worry. But it's the latest animated feature from Disney.
It's just Luca, but in space.
Luca in space. That's what Megan says. All right, July, we've got July 2nd, Jurassic World Rebirth. So this is kind of a reboot of Jurassic World.
Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry, I like all the Jurassic Park and Jurassic
They
World
ended
movies.
it so
I like them all.
They ended
It's
it
a
so
reboot.
well.
It's a reboot.
What does that mean?
It's new people.
No,
and a
but they
whole
already
new
did
thing.
New people.
They're doing it again.
No. They ended it so nicely. With all the dinosaurs and the humans living in peace.
Well, they're doing it again.
God, all the people are gonna die now. Stupid.
You can see how she feels about it.
I'm
Okay.
not going to see that.
Let's get Scarlett Johansson.
I'm protesting.
All right.
The last one had Bryce Dallas Howard.
I like
think I like those?
Yeah. All right. Also in July, this one I was hesitant about because I grew up with Christopher Reeve. I saw Christopher Reeve with my own eyes. He was 2 feet from me at Leicester Square at the premiere of the one with him and look it up for me quick. The one with Anthony Hopkins, Christopher Reeve, and Emma Thompson.
Remains of the Day.
Remains of the Day. I was living in London and I happened to just be walking through Leicester Square one night and I happened upon the London premiere of Remains of the Day and saw Christopher Reeve with my own eyes when he could still walk. And I just watched the Superman documentary about him and his devastating injury that he suffered and then eventually, passed away from after he fell off the horse. I watched it on the plane on the way to Amsterdam
Wait.
a couple weeks ago.
But he's in this new what?
No, this is a new reboot of Superman.
Oh, okay.
So I was hesitant to want to see this one because I'm loyal to Christopher Reeve as Superman. But I watched the preview and it actually looks really good. It looks really cool and I think Ben will really enjoy it. I mean, I liked Henry Cavill as Superman too in that little kind of reboot they did in the middle. Then there was another one in there. Who was that other guy that did it?
A lot of guys do.
Yeah, but this looks like a brand new, rethinking of Superman, so that should be cool. Okay, as usual, in my birthday month, there's nothing I've got on my list for August. September 12th, Downton Abbey 3. I've never actually watched the show, but I've been to both of the movies and I liked them pretty well. So I do have it saved on Netflix. Eventually I might watch the show, but I'll go to the third movie. November 21st, Wicked for Good. Is that actually the official title?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Wicked Part 2. The Wicked that came out this year, it's Part 2. We're very eager to see that. We loved this Wicked, so that'll be exciting. And then November 26th, Zootopia 2. Is that Pixar? I think it's just Disney again.
I think it's just Disney.
Poor Pixar. Yeah, Zootopia 2 is coming out November 26th. I don't know anything about the plot or what's going to happen or anything. Just assume it's Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde again. And in Zootopia, major animation. Feast of the Eyes, that will be. But the plot of the first one was really good. So I'm sure it'll be good. And that's, oh wait, nope, I've got one more. December 19th, Avatar, Fire and Ash. So the last Avatar movie was water. This one is going to be burning.
They're just turning it into The Last Airbender, really.
Yeah, Avatar, Fire and Ash. Thankfully, this one is at least somewhat reasonably spaced from Avatar. What was the water one?
Way of Water.
Way of Water. But the wait between that and the original Avatar was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they built a whole land in Disney World in between. And my understanding is that they've got tentative plans to put an Avatar land at Disneyland, which I'm not happy about. And that the Avatar land in Disneyland is going to incorporate these newer movies like Way of Water and Fire and Ash and whatever comes after it. How many movies are there supposed to be?
Probably 4 if we're going with all the elements from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, good point. It's not the same thing, but you know, she's got a point.
That's what Andrew said when we walked out of Way of Water.
Did he?
Telling us about the next
Okay.
ones.
So, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe so it'd be Earth. The first one would have been Earth, Water, Fire, Air.
Yep. Actually, I think the first one was Air, and the fourth one will be Earth.
But I don't know why I have something in my head that said there were supposed to be 7 Avatar movies. But I'm probably wrong, so don't take my word on that. Okay, so that's it. That's what we know about. I'm really hoping there will be some more good stuff. You know, the Oscar movies that come out in the fall and like at the holidays, it is 7 movies. I was right. It's 7 movies. Do they have titles?
No, just release dates.
What are the release dates?
Potentially.
Potential
Avatar
release
3,
dates.
2025. Then 2029, 2031, 2030, and 2032.
I might be dead. No, I won't be dead. I won't be dead. No, but boy, that's a long time. When did the first one come out?
Like 2010?
So this is like a 20-something year span for these.
2009.
Yeah, 20 plus years for these movies. That's crazy. Okay, anyway. The Oscar type movies, the really good dramas that usually come out in the fall and around the holidays, we don't often know about those until pretty close before they come out because they're usually released at the summer film festivals like Cannes, however you say it, the Venice Film Festival, those, which are like in July and August. And then those movies will come out in release for, you know, regular moviegoers to see in the fall and around Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So those aren't on this list yet, but those usually end up being some of my favorite movies of the year. Like, for example, my favorite movie of 2024, which was Conclave. Saw it 3 times, including once in Germany. And I found out it's streaming on Peacock, so I might get Peacock just so I can watch it again. Not really, but anyway, highly recommend it. Just, seriously, I do. Okay, I hope you liked this list. Let me know if you plan to see any of these movies on this list in 2025. Which 1 or 2 or 3 are you most excited about? Leave it in the comments down below. Is there anything that you know about that's coming out in 2025 that I did not mention on this list? Share it with us in the comments below. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next time.